on America. I very much appreciate the leadership's scheduling a commemoration on the steps of the Capitol tomorrow morning, but more needs to be said, as I fear time and events have dulled our memories. In addition, our nation has grown by over 60 million since September 11th, 2001. Children born after the towers came down, including 13,000 babies that came into the world on that incredible day. Unlike the rest of us, they have no direct memories of these horrendous events that changed our nation forever as hate-filled extremists struck in the streets of Lower Manhattan, the fields of Pennsylvania, and at the Pentagon. Over 700 citizens from my state of New Jersey died on that day. Our mere words cannot possibly capture the sentiments that surround September 11th. So in lieu of extended formal remarks, I would like to read, as I have in past years, The Names, a poem written by the then poet laureate Billy Collins, which he read before a congressional joint session in New York City just after the attacks, which members of Congress heard firsthand. The Names by Billy Collins. Yesterday I lay awake in the palm of the night. A soft rain stole in, unhelped by any breeze. And when I saw the silver glaze on the windows, I started with Ackerman, as it happened, then Baxter and Calabro, Davis and Eberling, names falling into place as droplets fell through the dark. Names printed on the ceiling of the night. Names slipping around a watery bend. 26 willows on the bank of a stream. In the morning, I walked barefoot among thousands of flowers, heavy with dew like the eyes of tears. And each had a name. Fiore inscribed on a yellow petal, then Gonzalez, Hahn, Ishikawa, and Jenkins. Names written in the air and stitched into the cloth of the day. A name under a photograph taped to a mailbox. Monogram on a torn shirt. I see you spelled out on storefront windows and on the bright unfurled awnings of this city. I say the syllables as I turn a corner. Kelly and Lee, Medina, Nardella, and O'Connor. When I peer into the woods, I see a thick tangle where letters are hidden, as in a puzzle concocted by children. Parker and Quigley in the twigs of an ash, Rizzo, Schubert, Torres, and Upjohn, secrets in the bough of an ancient maple. Names written in the pale sky, names rising in the updraft amid buildings, names silent in stone or cried out behind a door, names blown over the earth and out to sea. In the evening, weakening light, the last swallows, a boy on the lake lifts his oars. A woman by a window puts a match to a candle, and the names are outlined in the rose clouds, Vanacore and Wallace. Let the X stand, if it can, for the ones unfound. Then Young and Zeminski, the final jolt of Z. Names etched on the head of a pin. One name spanning a bridge, another ongoing a tunnel. A blue name needled into the skin. Names of citizens, workers, mothers and fathers. The bright-eyed daughter, the quick son. Alphabet of names in a green field. Names in the small tracks of birds. Names lifted from a hat or balanced on the tip of the tongue. Names wheeled into the dim warehouse of memory. So many names, there is barely room on the walls of the heart. I yield back the balance of my time.